Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Connor here. Welcome back to the Rumour Mill. I hope you're all doing fantastically well, and we are back here with another episode of your daily updates. That is the Rumour Mill. We've got a lot to talk about today, but at the start, I want to know how you guys are doing. I want to call out and shout out a few people like I do at the start of every video. Morning, Adam. I hope you're doing fantastically well, mate. Everybody who is in the chat now, hello. Right, guys, this video is sponsored by Ship Bikes USA, an absolutely brilliant company where your bikes can be tailored and customized to your own needs. It's a wonderful customer delivery service. And as I say every time, this Honda is an absolute beauty, this Honda Demon. And this one, every single time I talk about, I was speaking to Bernie, the owner, and he was saying someone's bought this for 100 grand. And I thought, wow, what a lot of money, but I would love something like that. So go check that out if you're interested. And guys, this is something that I've got on the Rumour Mill now, as you can see just near Adam's comment there. I'll just get that off screen so you guys can see. Yo, Macaulay, how you doing, mate? Look at this beautiful design. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to get rid of this chewing gum. But the problems of streaming sometimes. But as you can see, the Rumour Mill here is really lovely decoration here. And this is something that was designed by the wonderful, the absolutely brilliant Bootsy. So go check Bootsy out. He's a Californication man. He's a Bootsy guide. He does rum guides. He does everything. Go check him out. He does a fair bit of my design, and this is the end result. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. 394 of you watching, guys. Hello, welcome. Hope you're doing really well. Make sure you slap a like on the video for another episode of the Rumour Mill. There's also been a podcast that's been released earlier on today with the wonderful Rachel Morris, the Paralympian, the multi-medal winning Paralympian. That is Rachel Morris. Please go check that out. Available on all your podcast providers and, of course, YouTube if you like the visual aspects. So, guys, let's have a look at what's going on here. Morning, Herbie. Morning, old pal Jacob. How are you doing today, Connor? I'm good, buddy. Love your badge, Connor. I hope you do, mate. I hope everybody likes it. I think it's a really cool design. We went through it, and this is something that I wanted to, get involved with the Rumour Mill. I wanted a little caption, and I wanted myself on there as well. Now, the reason I know a lot of you will ask this is why, Connor, does it say LS15? Well, I was brought up and raised on Woodland Road in Horton, in Leeds. And yeah, absolutely great place. Great memories from when I was growing up near Crossgates. If any of you know it, probably a little bit more of a ballpark. But yeah, great times growing up. And I wanted to get LS15 on there, because that's where I was brought up. So let's get into it anyway. Enough waffling. I apologize, but let's get into it anyway. Right, guys. So the first thing I wanted to touch on straight away is this little aspect here. Now, transfer mistakes happen if Leeds are even slightly tempted to try and argue a way out of the agreement. History tells them that it would be well advised to swallow the cost and try and make what they can out of Augustin. Now, this is something I wanted to touch on because I think that is rumbling on in the background now. Leeds' transfer budget will not be affected by the obligation to pay some money for John Kevin Augustin, but if Leeds take it to a court of law, and as you can tell here, with regards to Alvarez at Sunderland, I read this in the Yorkshire Evening Post, with Alvarez suing for loss of earnings for his half a season in limbo before being allowed to join Sampdoria, plus legal fees, the final bill was nearer 20 million for Sunderland, and the original suit was for 10.5 million. So, as you can tell, guys, the obligation to just pay the money is probably better suited to Leeds United instead of challenging it. I don't know if they are going to challenge it. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a solicitor. I don't have the advice there. But it seems from the read in the Yorkshire Evening Post that would be advice for Leeds not to go for that. So please go check that out if you want to check that out. An interesting read. I'm kind of into that sort of stuff. So go and check that out on the Yorkshire Evening Post. Oliver, Connor, love your vids. Shout out your greasy forehead. Honestly, mate, it's these lights. Trust me, I apologise. But yeah, so let's get on with the next part of it. What have we got here? So we have now Leeds could move for Manchester City youngster Taylor Harwood-Bellis if Liverpool hijack their attempt to sign Ben White on a permanent deal. Now, this is also something that I wanted to talk about as well. Taylor Bellis is someone who is an absolutely brilliant player. I've been doing a lot of research on him this morning, hence why this was out at 11:30 instead of sort of the usual time of 11. And he looks like a brilliant player. If we're not able to get Ben White over the line, this potentially could be something that Leeds are looking into. He looks like a really good player, confident on the ball, very good at bringing the ball out. We always talk about that key word, marauding out from the back, and he does that extremely well. Let's have a look at some of his statistics as well. And he looks like a really, really good player, guys, a really good acquisition. Shout out Rhiannon to everybody who's on the Discord. If you're not, get yourself over there. As Rhiannon says, she's one of the moderators, a brilliant moderator, by the way. It's been going for a day now. I think we're on 150 members on the Discord. We're looking to get little communities going in the Discord, guys, so make sure you go check out. The link will be in the description. We have to go and build this Discord. Honestly, it's doing really, really well at the minute. I'm on it all the time, so please go check that out. Let's have a look at what's going on in the world of Leeds. Anyway, so this is what I was talking about with regards to Harwood Bellis. He likes to play the ball in and around the back. He's a really good player at passing into the midfield. Now, as you can see where Foden's picking up the ball here, you've got Gundogan on his left-hand side, and you've got Click, who would be just in that role where Foden is there, receiving the ball just on the edge of the D. And naturally, as you can see, City are playing a back three there where Harwood Bellis has come in. I've spoken to a City fan, as I always do before these sort of shows, to just get the download on him. And he's a very confident boy, very confident player. Pep Guardiola was quoted as saying he's the ultimate professional, which is lovely to hear. He's got the right mentality as well, according to Pep, which he came out and said in an interview. So I'm excited. Tactical breakdown that Leeds have with regards to Harwood Bellis. This is another tactical breakdown we have here. He's getting the ball and he's switching it. This is what Leeds look for consistently. It's the switching to the other wings. And you can see this with Harwood Bellis here. He's getting the ball and he's looking to switch the ball out to the left-hand side. It's a really good tactic, and it's how Leeds play. We've seen Ben White do this multiple times. He's capable as well of doing this, obviously, in that City squad. You look at the calibre of that squad there. It's extremely good, even if it is against Oxford. And he's played in decent teams, the UEFA Under-17 Championships as well. He was the standout player. And this is someone who Leeds could be very well interested in if the Ben White rumour doesn't come off. As you can see here, he's very good in the air as well. Obviously, it's only a still, guys, so you can't get the absolute complete sort of perspective on it. But if you go check him out, honestly, go check him out on YouTube. Go check him out on your highlight reels, your extended highlights. A really, really talented player and someone who he's good everywhere. And the City fans will not be happy seeing him go, as we'll get on to just in a little second. He's massive as well. Look at the size of him. Looks like he's ready to start now, ready to start playing football. And for a good team, maybe settle himself down. But I don't know whether or not it's going to be on loan or anything like that. We'd have to wait and see. Michael Humphreys with a $10 donation. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate that. Mick Wynn, Connor, any news with the QSI investment takeover? Nothing yet, mate. Nothing yet. We'll have to just wait and see with regards to the QSI. But listen, Taylor looks like a really good player. This is something that I got off the City Extra. So City Extra is a really good publication, and that does things on players that are coming in, players that are going out. They were the ones who've reported numerous City players coming in, being offered new contracts. And this was released, and as you can see here, only loan available with sort of a happy face. Needs to stay, says Chester Bells, and straight away James Kinneborough saying that they don't want to lose him, which you can understand that because, you know, apparently he's a really good player by all accounts. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If we can't get Ben White, if that's not going to go ahead, who do you want? Because surely contingency plans have to be put in place. They do, don't they? Contingency plans. We have to look at the next player, and I think by the end of this week, we need to know what's gone on with Ben White. We have to know what's gone on with Ben White. If we don't, this is going to keep dragging on. And I think this is something that Brighton needs sorting, and more importantly for us, Leeds United needs sorting. So it's going to be, as someone says, a juicy game when we play them down at Brighton or at Ellen Road. Ollie on tour saying that he doesn't want him. I'll be interested to know why you wouldn't want him, mate. As I said, we've got to just look at where the difference is and where we can get someone else in place of Ben White. That is absolutely critical. A lot of people saying here, Eric Garcia on loan. I don't know whether or not they'd be happy with letting our Eric Garcia go on loan. We'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be an interesting end to this sort of week for me. And this is another player Leeds are interested in. Leeds United are one of the clubs interested in Brazilian defender Lianco, with Torino wanting 10 million euros for the player, and that's from Ojogo, which is a publication in Portugal. And as you can see here, Lianco, his age is 23, Serbian and Brazilian, club Torino, position centre-back, he's a complete and dominant defender, strengths, tackling and intercepting, aerial duels, marking, pace, composure. So essentially all the perfect elements you need from Marcelo Bielsa setup. He's right-footed as well. I mean, that's perfect because you need a right footer alongside Cooper. We need a left, we need a right footer. That's just how it's got to be. It's how it's got to be. We've got to have a left and a right footer. Someone said to me in the comment section below, what about McQueen? What about Hunter? Both left footers when we won the title back in the day. But what I'd say to that is this Marcelo Bielsa way feeds on open, expansive football. And I'm not saying that team didn't, but the fluidity in this Marcelo Bielsa team, the pace in transitions from defence to attack requires a left-footed defender and a right-footed defender so we can move the ball quickly. And I would arguably say the pace of the game has increased dramatically since those wonderful days that we basked in. Well, I didn't bask in. I wish I was there for those days, but there you go. And this is an interesting one that a lot of people are talking about as well. It's a really interesting one here with regards to Ryan Fraser. Now, Ryan Fraser is unlikely to join Arsenal and Tottenham, with both North London clubs looking at other targets. The Bournemouth winger is now more likely to join a promoted side, with Leeds, West Brom and Fulham all interested in taking the individual. So let me know what you guys think about that one, because that's going to be an absolute... I'd really like Ryan Fraser. We talk about Dan James. There's probably going to be a lot of people who are going to turn around and say, Connor, you don't know what you're talking about. But Fraser's got the end product. He's done it in the Premier League and we get him for a decent price. And he's still only young, very, very quick. And I believe if he was available when Dan James was available sort of a year ago, we'd have probably gone in for Ryan Fraser. I think he's a really good player. Let me know what you think in the comment section below and I'll flash it up on screen. I'm really interested to say what would love Fraser here from Josh. Fraser would be a great sign-in. Would love Ryan Fraser. Fraser has a temperament problem I've just seen there. And Rhiannon Davis saying Fraser. I think he's like, as Scott Worrell says there, I think Scott Worrell says there, Fraser is top drawer. I think I'd have to agree with him. You know, I think he's on a different level. As I say, he's played at that level. We want players who've played at the Premier League. We want experience naturally, don't we? And if we can get that and we can get someone who's sort of got a low body fat percentage, or it's going to have to get lower. You know, we've seen that with Gelhardt. Gelhardt's such a unit. Fraser's a little bit of a stocky lad and maybe he'd have to get down weight-wise, but I think he'd be really good in this Marcelo Bielsa side, and he'd give us that injection of pace, and he's good in the final third. You know, the amount of goals Callum Wilson has got and profited from the likes of Fraser on one side, I think it's evident, and Josh King as well. I can't imagine what the assists are like for those individuals, and if Fraser hadn't have been in that side, would they have got as many goals as they had? I don't think so. He terrifies defenders. Any sort of pace terrifies defenders, of course it does. I've just seen on here someone talking about Smalling for 15 million. Smalling, I'd have to say no, just because I think he gets caught out too much, and his recovery rate's decent, his ability to get back quickly, but I think he'd be caught out too much, and I'm not sure. I know he's played for them in red, but I'm not sure he has that capability to play the Bielsa way and be able to recover when he loses the ball, because we play extremely quickly, and I don't know if he's going to be able to, I don't know, A, play in the transition and B, be able to sort of defend. And would he improve Cooper, or would there be a little bit more mistakes in Smalling's locker, which could feed into the back line a bit unnervy? I know he's played at a very good level. And as Finley says here, John Stone's apparently available. I'll probably go for that over someone like Smalling. But let's have a look at the next rumour now. I know a lot of you guys have been talking about this as well, but this is Harry Wilson. Been told Football Insider, Bent told Football Insider, sorry. I watched Harry Wilson a lot when he was at Derby, and a bit when he was at Bournemouth. I really do like him. I still don't think he's reached to that level. Obviously, he doesn't think that he's reached to that next level yet because of his loan signings, but I expect him to kick on. He could be a fantastic signing, but we go back to this whole being settled thing rather than getting on loan to Leeds, on loan to Bournemouth, on loan to Derby. At some stage, you need to be settled down, and he's getting to an age. He's a Wales international where he needs to be settled and playing. I think Leeds could be the perfect landing spot for him being Harry Wilson. Now, that's really interesting from Ben. You guys, we spoke about this in the Discord chat the other day, and we're having a real extensive chat about in the Discord for In Full Swing, and I'd be really happy with Harry Wilson. I think he'd be a really good acquisition. I've said this 3 or 4 days on the rumour mill, but he needs a bit of stability, does Harry Wilson. And as Darren Bent's just said there, the instability of moving out on loan everywhere, it destables a player. It consistently does. They're not able to find a home. You know, I did a podcast with Marcus Bent about 2 months ago now, and I spoke to Marcus off air, and Marcus was saying consistently that the loan spells were killing him. He had no confidence. He'd be shipped out here, there, and everywhere. He'd have to move with his family. And there's a lot of evidence behind that. Players been put out on loan consistently. The proof that we've got with someone like Jack Harrison, the perfect thing is he's sort of found a home at Leeds in terms of he's been playing every single game, which Harry Wilson hasn't at Bournemouth. He's been playing every single game. He's clearly a massive feature with this Leeds United side. He's felt by the crowd as well. I don't think Harry Wilson, aside from his loan at Derby, where he was obviously going to move up a level if they didn't go up, I don't think he's ever felt that sense of belonging. Now, if Leeds can go in there, improve him, he's clearly got a lot of talent. Liverpool wouldn't have had him in the pre-season tours doing all this X, Y, and Z if they didn't rate him. Ryan Bruce has been in those pre-season tours as well. We've seen Joe Gomez when he's been coming up for Liverpool in previous years, been in that developmental squad as well, coming up obviously from Charlton. But there's got to be a lot of emphasis on the fact that I think Bielsa will be able to improve him massively, as he would with someone like Howard Bellis, as he would with someone like Buendia, as he would with even someone like Ben Rama. And I think Harry Wilson, for me, would be a really, really good signing. There's also been a lot of talk about Conor Gallagher. I think there's probably a fine line between those two, but I genuinely would take Harry Wilson. There's a lot of people who turn around and say, well, you take his left foot and his free kicks out of it, then he wouldn't be anything. But, you could say that for anything. If you take penalties away from Liverpool or penalties away from Man United, does that mean someone like Bruno Fernandes isn't a good player? I hate saying it, but he's evidently a very good player. And if Harry Wilson can take those chances in a Leeds side, then why would we not take advantage of that, and why would we not get him into our starting lineup under the best coach in the world? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I think there's a lot of people talking about Harry Wilson and stuff like that. A lot of people talking about Milner and Henderson. Yeah, I'm not sure about Milner or Henderson. I think Milner's still got a job to do. I think Milner's still got a really good job to do at Liverpool. I think he's still a key figure there. And I think Henderson, guys, I don't mean to be flippant, but I just don't ever see that happening. Guys, as well, there's 734 of you watching now. Incredible. Once again, we hit a record yesterday with 780, 734 of you. If you wouldn't mind slapping a like, that would be really helpful to me. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. There's only 35% of people who watch my videos who are subscribed. If you wouldn't mind doing me a solid and hitting that button, that'd be great. Now, the next rumour. Rangers defender Borna Barisic has impressed for the club since joining as one of Steven Gerrard's signings in 2018. The former Ozchek man played 40 games in all competitions, prompting talk of a switch to Leeds United following the Whites' promotion to the Premier League. However, the Daily Record suggested earlier this month that the player had no plans to move on after his campaign, which no other Rangers player delivered more assists in the league, and his manager's comments support this. Now, this is a player who I've watched against Celtic. Naturally, I think a lot of people talk about the games between Rangers and Celtic, of course, but I think Barisic is a very good player. He's a very decent player. Left-sided, once again, we know he's a left-footed player. He's played on the wing-back as well for Rangers, left-back permanently, normally. And he's actually played left-wing for them as well. Naturally, he gets forward a lot, but defensively he's very strong. And it's no secret right now that Leeds are consistently in the market for a left-back. And we know that, there's been talk as well of, I've seen as well, I've got a few contacts, people in the YouTube game who are saying apparently like certain clubs are making moves for Leif Davis, and apparently certain clubs are looking at Barry Douglas. So whether or not that's going to come to the fore, I don't know. But Leeds are clearly looking at left backs. That's just so obvious. And someone like Barisic he's got a bit of experience, and he's played under Steven Gerrard as well. A growing manager in Scotland, and he's got the most assists in the league. So a sort of a backup left back to Stuart Dallas or whoever we're going to have next year. I don't think it'd be a bad signing. I don't think it'd be a bad sign at all. Every time I've seen him, he's been very decent. A lot of people saying Joe Linton, which is interesting. I don't really... Joe Linton's an interesting one. What's he got? 1 goal in about 50-odd games. Interesting news about Calvin Phillips as well. In addition to his salary increase, the midfielder has been handed an individual promotion bonus in line with the club's performance-related player contracts. United's top earners in 1920 were goalkeeper Kiko Casilla and striker Patrick Bamford, both earning around 40 grand a week. According to the club's annual accounts, the Yorkshire Giants have had to fork out 25 million in promotion bonuses, and now they have ended their 16-year absence from the Premier League. Now, that's just natural. I think a lot of teams do that. I actually think Leeds are on the lower ebb of that, really. There's a lot of teams that go up and they've got a lot of promotion bonuses. You look at a side like Wolves who went out and they were promising certain individuals in that squad, that lit up squad of talent, that if they get to the Premier League, when they get to the Premier League, their salaries are going to go through the roof. Their international bonuses, if they get 30 caps, etc., their per league performances are going to go through the roof. So that's natural with any side, but it's good to see that Phillips has got an improved contract. I'd like to see it with a few others. I'm hearing rumblings as well that Cooper's going to be offered a new contract, which is thoroughly deserved. And yeah, fully respected for Leeds and for a lot of people in this Leeds United side getting decent contracts. Now this is a new one here. Now Joe Gelhardt, this was his first interview for Leeds United there. As you can see him, he's gone for the Justin Bieber swept hair. I didn't realise he was a Scouser, which is great. Having another Adam Forshaw in the team. Scousers unite and all this sort of stuff. That's great. And I'm really happy listening to his interview. Guys, it's so key that Bielsa's staying. I mean, who's taking training today? Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are saying, well, Bielsa might not be signed. But as I said yesterday, I don't understand how he's not signed. It's the club's clearly not come out with it, but I'm pretty certain it's done and done. Obviously, Bielsa will be taking training today. Gelhardt's had promises. He said he can't wait to work under Bielsa. Harrison said the exact same yesterday. So we're just waiting for official confirmation, really. I think it's sort of obvious what is happening there. And really, really good to see. And this one as well. So this is a funny one. A lot of people will probably have a little bit of a laugh with this. So Ben White has just moved into his house, his £1 million house, just 5 miles from the Brighton training ground, ready to admit defeat LUFC. This is such a strange saga with Ben White, isn't it? It's like we both love him as a player. I don't think Brighton have seen the best out of him at all. And it seems like all the hype that we've given him has probably spurred a lot of Brighton fans and Brighton people on in terms of looking at how good he is and how good we perceive him to be, and the fact that we're in the Premier League and a lot of it is attributed to him. I think that we will be, we're still going to be with him till the end. Ben White going for it. I still think it's going to be one of those situations like with Dan James where we're there right till the very end. Hopefully it doesn't have the same outcome. But I do think there needs to be a definitive answer, and I really like someone like Harwood Bellis. Obviously played with Pep Guardiola, highly thought of, quotes from company, quotes from Pep Guardiola about how good he actually is. And, if Leeds can get him, I don't know whether or not we could get him on a signing or if it would be a loan to sign, like similar to Ben White. That'd be really interesting. But apparently he's an extremely good player and highly thought of. And I'm not casting Ben White out. Of course I'm not. He's still the number one priority for me. But the club will have contingency plans. And I think the contingency plans are absolutely key at this moment in time because they'll know exactly what they're doing. But the silence is... In some ways, we all talk about, silence being deafening, but I also think silence is bliss sometimes. I think the club have made not mistakes in the past. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about this. But I think a lot of people are, a lot of Leeds probably contingency behind the scenes are looking at this and thinking they don't want to release a lot of information. And the reason behind that is because before, when information has been released, you get a lot of clubs trying to hijack bids, whether or not that be social media. Social media is the most prevalent part of everyday lives nowadays. So whether or not that's because of social media, whether or not that's because of X, Y, and Z, agents and stuff like that, Leeds been interested, etc. You're naturally going to get a lot of articles like we have on the Rumour Mill talking about how Leeds are interested in X, Y, Z, but a lot of it isn't fundamental. A lot of it's not sustained and backed up. But I think obviously the Ben White rumours are true, but I would be stunned if it was leaked to Leeds journalists, because I think in the past, naturally, because they do an amazing job in informing the fans, they do an absolutely sterling job. But I don't know whether or not that's affected bids in the past, and I would hazard a guess that is why Leeds are keeping their cards close to the chest. I think it's a good business strategy, and I think we do that. A lot can go on behind the scenes, and we saw it with, for example, with Phil Hay this week was talking on his podcast about Harvey Barnes, and none of us had a clue about Harvey Barnes. Obviously, the deal with Matej Vidra, not a lot of people had a clue at that. Both players at the training ground ready to sign, and then whatever happened, and then the deal was hijacked. And I think it is seriously important for clubs to keep a lot of deals close to the chest, and I think that Leeds are trying to do that with Ben White. And I think obviously with all these reports of the house and this, that, and the other, Ben White having getting a house down there. Listen, I live in York, and apparently he's bought a house in York as well. So I don't know. We've seen all those rumblings on social media from, on forums. Ben White's bought a house in York. I've seen that in places. So whether or not that's true, you don't know. But it's definitely going to be an interesting end, and we'll have to just wait and see on that one, and just wait and see whether or not Leeds are going to be able to get that one over the line. But I think it is vital that we get some understanding of what's going on this week inside the club. I don't think we necessarily need to know everything, but I think within the club, and the club will know that. The club will know that they're not daft. Now, we've got one other rumour which doesn't seem to go away as well. And the Anfield edition was talking about Origi, Divock Origi at Liverpool. He has won the Champions League and Premier League and now might want to go and play football. There's been a lot of speculation about Origi and his next move. I really like Divock Origi. He still goes in that same bracket as Batshuayi for me. Batshuayi's obviously had a little bit more experience, Dortmund, Palace, Chelsea, Marseille, etc. But I really, really, really rate Divock Origi. Apologies for that. I really rate him. I think he's a brilliant player. His finishing is through the roof. He's just... and I think he's played in so many important games, Barcelona, the cup finals they played in. And I'd really like Divock Origi. It seems like he's been around for ages, but he's only, 21, 22. And if Leeds can get him for a decent fee, whatever that may be, I think that would be a brilliant signing. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Divock Origi. Would you take that? We'll have to wait and see. Alex, big brother, Connor, what are your 3 striker targets? What about Callum Wilson? I'm worried about especially Celtic striker. Cheers for the 5 donation, mate. Any donation, as I say, goes back into the channel. Working hard at the minute, really working hard to try and make this channel better. And I hope a lot of you guys are appreciating that. I really do. And I think I can tell that you are. So thank you for your continued support. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, which is mental. I think about 4 weeks ago, I was on about 400. So thank you for your continued support. It means so much. And Alex, those comments were just that 5, mate. It means so much to me. But to answer your question, I've just answered it a little bit there, mate, with Batshuayi and Origi. A lot of people are talking about Edouard. I think Edouard's going to be a European target for a lot of teams. He's an excellent player. I mean, you talk about Origi, you talk about Batshuayi, and you talk about Edouard. They're top players, top players. And a lot of people will say, well, he played, he's only played for Celtic. Well, so did Van Dijk. Van Dijk played for Celtic, then made the move down south, and then look where he is now. Edouard is a top player. You might turn around. Apologies for that, guys. I don't know if that cut out again. But like I was saying, the 3 top strikers, it'd have to be Edouard, it'd have to be Batshuayi and Origi. I was talking about Watkins earlier, but I just don't know if it's one of them which I'd go for with Watkins in terms of, because there's so much interest from Villa. Obviously, we know that Leeds keep the cards close to the chest. That's something that we've always done. This campaign anyway, and I think that you're seeing that with Leeds. So a lot could be going on behind the scenes, but I would definitely look at Edouard. I would definitely look at Batshuayi and Origi. Whether or not you'd swap out Batshuayi for Watkins in a more realistic term, I don't know. Apparently Watkins is, as I've said, Villa's #1 target, so we'll have to just keep an eye on that one. So we'll have to wait and see on that one, guys. Get your comments in the section below. Anyway, really good comment there. I've really enjoyed this one. It's been a little bit more chilled, probably because I've got a fan there. But I really enjoy these Rumour Mills, guys. It's becoming bigger. It's becoming better. And I'm really enjoying it. I apologize sometimes if the mic cuts out. It's this specific microphone is probably just in use for a lot of just video making that I do instead of live streams. So sometimes I'll just have to put it back on. It takes all of 2 seconds, so just bear with me with that. Get your comments in the section below, guys. Who would you have as a striker? And the CDL from LUFC Jacob is trending again. I still don't know what that means, but obviously, I don't want it to be affiliated with you-know-what, but yeah, I don't know what that is. But guys, I hope you enjoy these Rumour Mills anyway. As I said, get your comments in the section below. Let's see what some of you have to say. Who are you looking at right now with regards to signings? Obviously, Gonzalez, Chris talking there about him being the new signing. There's a lot of people who are talking about Nico Gonzalez now, and that being one of those where Leeds are massively interested. I think there is sustenance with that, Chris, if I'm brutally honest with you. There's been a lot of very good reports. Kicker in Germany is normally a very good source, and they sort of reported first when Leeds were after Jonathan David. Obviously, David moving on now to Lille, which is a big shame. But, if you don't want to play for Leeds, you'll never be Leeds. They were the ones who first reported it. And Nico Gonzalez, highly rated. Obviously not been playing at the top level. Obviously he's been playing with Stuttgart, but I don't really know a lot about him. But there's been a lot of reports about him. Arsenal were interested in him at the start of the window as well. That seems to have quelled a little bit. So we'll have to, wait and see if they come in with another offer. But this is the thing, guys. Now, if we're looking at the top players, we're looking at top competition as well, which is going to be an interesting end to the window. A lot of people talking about Michy Batshuayi, Isaac Sutty saying we've signed Neymar for £2.50 in a packet of Monster Munch. I do love Monster Munch. I do. Monster Munch. What a great crisp. Some people saying Connor Defence League. Who's attacking me? But I appreciate the support anyway. Watkins is mobile, clean striker of the ball, fast, physical, great presser. I would have to agree. Watkins would be the ultimate signing. I really like Watkins. He's an excellent player. But if you're looking at Origi, if you're looking at Batshuayi, you're looking at Edouard. I mean, wow. I mean, these are obviously they're only rumours, but if someone like Divock Origi is talking about Leeds and we're looking at that market, as you can see here, I'll just quickly flash that back up with regards to Origi. When you go somewhere like Villa or Leeds from Liverpool, you expect to be playing virtually every game, and that might be on the players' thoughts. So that's something that is really exciting. The fact even that we're linked with these players, guys. I don't know if a lot of you are just sort of looking at this now, but isn't it great that we're linked with players of this ilk now? I'm just so happy that. And I keep ending podcasts with this, don't I? I normally try to hit the 30-minute mark, and that's what I naturally try and do. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, there's a lot of people talking now about Brighton rejecting a £30 million bid, guys. Let me know if that's true. I don't know whether or not. Obviously, I'm live on stream now, so let me know. Obviously, I haven't got my phone at hand, so I'll have to just wait and see. I don't know if just you guys spam in the comments. I'll have to wait and see. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rumour mill first. I'm just going to have a quick look and see if this is actually true, because this will be really interesting if that is the case. Straight away, I've got a notification. Wow. Yeah, guys, exclusive here, and we'll go for the in full swing exclusive, even though it isn't me. Exclusive. Wow. Football Insider are reporting that Brighton have rejected a £30 million bid from Leeds for Ben White. Now, apparently we put 35 million in for Jonathan David. Apparently we've just put 30 million pounds in for Ben White. Now that is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Now I'm really, God, this is difficult for me. Obviously being live reacting to something like this. I don't know if I would go higher than that. I don't know if we can go higher than that. I don't know the budget. I don't know what's going on, but I just don't know if Leeds could go any higher than that, and they're just going to keep rejecting. They clearly know, obviously, even from the free Ben White movement online, that this is gathering so much momentum, and they're just going to charge top dollar for him. He's clearly part of Potter's plans. Does money talk? Now, 30 million is a lot of money. I thought they'd have accepted much less for Ben White. I thought 22 was going to go to 25. Now that is a lot of money. Now. Yeah, I mean it's a fantastic comment there. I really like that from my friend Lee Cox, big fan of the channel. Cheaper option, Ethan Pinnock. Obviously, once again, left footer. Cooper is a left footer as well. So would that work with this Leeds United side? Ethan Pinnock, Brighton are a selling club. I do really like Ethan Pinnock, and he's up there with Ben White for me. But that's a huge blow. That's a huge blow for me. Whether or not Leeds are going to go up and make another bid, that'll be really interesting. That's a huge bid for Leeds United to put in as a club. I'm proud of them for going for that. And as Scott Evans puts here, at 30 million, you walk for now. I mean, that is Leeds are trying. They're clearly trying to go for it. I mean, let me know in the comment section below, guys. Would you, if you're a Brighton fan, would you accept 30 million for Ben White? And if you're a Leeds fan, would you be happy with Leeds going higher than that? Me and my dad were having a conversation the other day, and the rumour mill's going on a little bit here, guys. I apologise if you're bored. There's 737 of you watching now. Please slap a like on the video. As I said, if you're not subscribed, please do so. It's free. But would you guys put it in the comment section below? I want all of you to comment. Would you take Ben White? Would you go higher than that for Ben White? Put either a yes or a no. I'd be really interested to see that. As Lee Smith says, he'll never go for more than 30. Rhiannon Davis makes a really good point here. He needs to hand in a transfer request, and that would force the move, wouldn't it? We've not seen that yet. I saw Binky from Talking Joe saying the exact same thing. You know, do we need to put in a transfer request at some point? Does Ben White need to put a transfer request in at some point and force Brighton's hand? Leeds can't seemingly do any more. Yeah, and we'll have to wait and see. But once again, as I said, guys, this has been a lot of people saying yes, no. It seems to be split a little bit. Some people saying 35, some people saying 40. I just think as well, guys, I don't think we're going to have I think we're going to have a good budget this year, but I don't know if it's going to be, I don't think we're going to have 100 million to spend this sort of transfer window. So are you looking at, would you be happy with 3 players and Ben White, or 5 or 6 players without Ben White? I guess that's the difference. And would we ever be able to find a player who would match Ben White? That's a huge offer for Brighton to reject there. It's a massive deal. As Connor says here, 32.5 max. I was sort of thinking the same. I wouldn't like 30. 35 is a lot of money. I think 40 is a lot of money. And as I keep saying on this, and I know you guys are probably getting sick of this, but in the current market, offering that sort of money is massive. It's a massive, massive amount of money in this current market. And Brighton know exactly what they're doing. Okay, they've got some tough negotiators down there, but is Ben White worth that money? He probably is. We're going to have him for a large trajectory of his career. He's going to go on to the England squad. He's going to go on to absolutely brilliant things. So do you invest in that? Do you invest in that sort of money? Obviously, he believes his record transfer for that sort of money. But, if we're going for something like 35 million, which was highly reported for Jonathan David, I can see Leeds offering more. And as Mark Edison says here, a really good comment. Problem is now Leeds have shown they have big money, and we have, and as Tiger says here, a big fan of the channel, Tiger. Timo Werner went to Chelsea for around 40 million. That's Timo Werner. Listen, Ben White could probably mark Timo Werner out the game, couldn't he? But but listen, that's the thing with Ben White. I mean, how far can he go? How far can that kid go? He's such a wonderful player. And would we look back in 10 years' time and say, what a snip that was for him? And would we look back in a year's time after he's had a year under Potter and been brilliant? Would we look back and say, oh, Jesus, what a miss that was? And obviously, he's someone who would fit into this Bielsa side straight away, which is a big plus. Someone like Bellis, someone like other reports, Van Foyth, they'd need a lot of time to be trained up into this Leeds United setup, wouldn't they? So, yeah, it's interesting, really, really interesting. And yeah, I mean, as Charles says here, if our budget is only 45 million, we wouldn't spend 20 on a defender. I completely agree with that. I think that 45 million is absolute tripe, to be honest. I think Leeds have probably got 60 to 80 spends in this summer for me, especially if you're offering 35 for David and 30 for Ben White. We've got to realise, guys, 45 million, don't know who reported that, but that's just not the case. Leeds have got a lot more money than that, for me anyway. Wouldn't be offering those sorts of deals. But, if we're offering 25 and then add-ons and add-ons and add-ons, then we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, it's interesting. We've had a live bit of transfer news there on the Rumour Mill for the first time. And that's great. I enjoy that. I enjoy reacting live to all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on things coming up, guys. This has been the longest Rumour Mill I've done. God, I hope a lot of you come back and watch this again. As you can say, you can watch the Rumour Mill back you can go back and watch it from the start. So yeah, make sure you do that. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's probably been my favourite Rumour Mill so far. This has. It's just been great to get the interaction. Obviously, something happening live on air is great. I hope we get more of that in the future. Guys, if you want more interaction, go look at the Discord. Please go look at the Discord. We've got it all over there. It's absolutely popping at the minute. I think there's like 150, 160 members in 24 hours. So it's blowing up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll have another Rumour Mill out tomorrow. The schedule, guys, as I've done it from day one, has been Rumour Mill 5 days a week and added content on the weekend. So it's been every day uploads now for me. It's going to be the best part of 2.5 weeks now. So it is knackering, but I'm doing it for the greater cause, all you lot, for the Leeds fans and trying to build something here. And I'm trying my best, and I hope you guys appreciate that. But listen, it's been great once again. Really appreciate the support. And yeah, you have a great day. Go out, have a coffee, be with your family, be happy, and just be happy at where we are right now as Leeds United. It's a great position. Guys, I'll see you in a bit. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.